What's the prognosis on Brock?
Brock and the trainers, a couple trainers, are doing everything they can to get him back as quickly as possible. But he's questionable. He didn't practice today. He didn't practice last night. His foot is in a boot, but as we speak right now, it's out of a boot, and he's getting some therapy done.
Is it a sprain?
Yeah.
Definitely no break.
No. No, they did the X-rays during our game in Corvallis. Took him over there, and the X-rays came back negative, but it's a sprain.
He says foot's out of the boot now just for therapy, but then he'll go back in it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, literally, he just probably took it off because the plan was right after practice to go down to the training room, take the boot off, and do some therapy. But when he's walking around, he has the boot on.
Think there's any chance at all he can play Monday? More likely later.
I think there's a chance, but a very slim chance. So obviously, there's a better chance for him to play Wednesday.
Would it be a case where if he's close Monday, you wouldn't play him? Maybe just try to have him give it a go Wednesday. Would you save him for Wednesday?
Yeah, that's a hard call. It's not like a tear in his knee or something that could be career-ending. You know, he has a sprained ankle. It's a more severe than just a little sprained ankle, obviously. But it would come down to, in that situation, come down to probably how he's warming up and how he's doing right before the game. Not even shoot around 4 hours prior, but right before the game. Can he move on it, or is it just too sore?
How bad does he want to get on the court, though, even though he's injured?
Oh, he wants to get out there. He wants to be back out in the court immediately. So that's always a good sign. That's a great question, because sometimes you kind of sense or know with some kids that they really don't have a desire to get back out there. They're like, I'm hurt. Just leave me alone for a few weeks.
What does it mean to have a program like Pittsburgh coming in here?
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to our program. I hope it means a lot to Cougar supporters, hoping that we get a good crowd to see our last game. Definitely our last game this time. We've been talking about this for a few weeks now. But this is definitely our last game at home. We have a few seniors, Charlie, Abe, and Marcus, that are continuing to represent our program in a positive manner and have been playing very good basketball. And I think it'd be a great opportunity for our fans to see a Big East team here. I'm not sure when the last time was that a team out of the Big East played here. But Pitt's had a very prominent program for a number of years, and they're good. There's a reason why they're still playing.
Two other Pac-12 teams have made it to the championship before. How do you guys feel, even though it's the CBT, it's still an accomplishment for you guys? How do you guys feel about playing in the championship game?
Well, we're excited about this. We like anybody else, our sights were set on trying to get to the NCAA tournament. But at the end, you get an opportunity to get into a tournament, and you make the most of it. And we as a staff are extremely proud of our guys in how they've handled the last few weeks of really valuing their opportunity. And the practices have been good, upbeat, working hard. The games, our guys have been doing a good job.
With an up and down season, I mean, what would it mean to the team and the school to win this championship?
Well, I think it would mean a lot. It would mean a lot. It's not like hanging an NCAA banner, but we've won 3 more games. We have at least 2 more to go, and we are peaking at the right time of the year. That's what any coach wants, is his team to be able to go out and perform at their best at the very end, and that's exactly what our guys are doing. So we're excited about this situation.
What will it take to win the championship season?
I think we need to be as healthy as possible, and we're skating on thin ice there. But we need to be able to execute against Pitt. We need to be able to rebound the ball. they're a very, very good rebounding team. I mean, they're right up there with University of Washington. This year, I think they were second or third in the country in offensive rebounding, and last year they were second or third. They had 18 offensive rebounds the other night against Butler, so we have our work cut out there. They're a very, very big, strong, athletic team.
What do you guys need to do to win? What things you need to work on?
I think taking care of the ball and rebounding, those two areas are going to be critical. You need to take care of the ball, value every possession, and then not allow them to get second chance opportunities.
Who starts if Brock can't go?
Probably Mike Ladd or Charlie Inquist, maybe DJ. We've not had that discussion yet as a staff, but in my mind, those are the three guys that would be it would be a possibility.
How do you explain Abe's resurgence lately? And does he look the case of just being more relaxed? And
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think he's just extremely relaxed. He's having fun. He's just going out and hooping and not worrying about anything. And boy, did he play well the other night. I mean, it's crazy. He's been here for 4 years or 5 years, fifth-year senior, and he has a career high after all those games. And then 2 days later, he matches that by halftime and finishes the game with 12 rebounds. So it's good to see.
You guys had an extra week of practice, the team being together. How does that help for next year's team to get that continuity going, to carry that momentum from this tournament on to the new season next year?
You know, it's always good to have those extra practices. You know, I read a lot about the different teams that get into bowl games, and I think they get a few more practices than we've had. But it does lead into the off season, leads into the attitudes about the team. Because if you keep going, you're getting extra practice. That means you've had success. And so I think it can only help for next year.
Any more questions in here? Okay, any questions from the phone?
Yeah, Ken, with Modem, which foot was it exactly?
Wow. Does anybody know?
His right.
right.
His right.
Right. Thank you.
Ken, looking forward to Pittsburgh, I assume that you've seen some tape on them. Do they remind you of anybody that you've played against this year?
They remind me the most of Arizona out of our conference. They're like an Arizona team that rebounds like Washington.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, they are. You know, they're big, they're strong, they play extremely aggressive, well coached. Jamie Dixon's done an outstanding job there. So yeah, we're in for a tough game, or a couple games.
And this tournament, produces obviously the Final Four teams are all very good teams as well, and you get to the championship and two pretty storied programs as well. What does this kind of say about the tournament? I mean, the organizers got to be pretty pleased seeing Pitt and Washington State in the finals, you would imagine, right?
I would think so. I think they would have been just as happy, though, with Oregon State and Butler. I mean, those are two good programs, especially, Butler, what they have done recently. And then Oregon State had great success years ago. So I think they were in good shape regardless of who won those last couple games.
And as you sort of mentioned, we've been talking about this a couple weeks now, but it really is going to be the last home game for a couple of these guys. Can you sort of feel it in the practices that they're kind of, ready to get this last home game going here?
I think so. We discussed it before practice today, and just I was able to be definite in saying that this is our last hard practice of the season. I mean, this is the last time we're going to get out here and really get after it and be physical and play hard, because from here on out, it's preparing for the next day's game. And those are more like just shooting and walkthroughs. So I think the guys sensed that, and they had great energy today. It was good to see.
Thanks, Ken.
You're welcome.
Any more questions for Coach?
Yeah, Ken Bud Withers here. Aside from Brock's obvious contributions
It's not easy to do that, but I felt our kids made the adjustment extremely well. We were able to execute some things that we don't usually execute as often because we really milk it with Brock, and then now we were going to different players to create those points. So we changed a couple things, but again, the credit goes to the players. You know, Reggie did an outstanding job of following through with the game plan from that point on, being more aggressive. And then Abe Lodwick, you know, nothing else can really be said except he looked for his shot aggressively and buried those shots. I also like the way Mike Ladd played. You know, he didn't score a lot of points. I think he made 3 field goals, but his 6 rebounds were good, and then Marcus, I believe, had 7. So everybody contributed in a positive way. I was also happy to see Patrick Simon get out there and bury a deep 3. We're going to need him to continue to do that here these last few games.